Well, hello everybody and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we are beginning a whole new series and we are going to document the production process of a rock ballad. In today's video, we are going to start with the songwriting process. Coming up next. Okay, so if this is the first time you are visiting this channel, what I do here is basically document the production process of a song from start to finish. This is actually a whole new series, but before this, I just finished a series on how to make a rock song. You can go ahead and click on the link that's above here and it will take you to the first video of that series. Now, this series is going to be a little different. In the previous series, I was showing you in real time the detail of every single decision that I was making throughout the process. This time, since I'm going to pretty much follow the same procedure, I'm not going to go into that much of a detail. I'm just going to show you guys the final result of each step that I go through, unless there is something new or something different that I want to show you and get to the detail of it. For example, in the previous series, when we were at the songwriting stage, I showed you guys what is my method for pretty much writing each and every single section of a song. This time, I'm just going to show you the final result as we go on each and every single section of the song. Now, before we begin, if you haven't done so yet, please don't forget to subscribe to the channel and activate the notifications so that you are aware every time we have new content on this channel. I am uploading videos every Tuesday. And now, without further ado, let's jump into Pro Tools. And today I'm going to show you guys a quicker method that I have for songwriting, which is basically summarizing what I did in the previous series, but just making it and doing it a little bit faster. So let's get to it. Okay, so what I'm doing here is that I started a new, what I would call songwriting session. So what is different of this method compared to the one that I did in the previous series is that instead of first, writing the whole song on an acoustic guitar, for example, and then putting it in Pro Tools, what I'm going to do is that I'm going to do the whole songwriting process within Pro Tools. Now, what I find is that this process is faster, and it also allows me to when I write the drums, for example, the sound is going to be closer to the end result, and somehow, because the song sounds similar to what it is going to end up being, somehow it enhances the creative vibe, so to speak, of the whole process. So you will see that in a moment, and I will show you guys each and every section of what I have here. But for now, I wanted to show you, because as always, I started this process from a voice memo, but this time I did something a little bit different. I'm going to show you the screen of my cell phone. I'm using a different app, which is down here. It is called Klimper. And the truth is that I've been trying the app. I tried it, but unfortunately, this is not going to replace my current process with the voice memos. And the reason is that, it can become a little complicated. It helps you get a more complete recording of your idea, so to speak. Because I was saying previously, when I was recording a voice memo, maybe let's say 6 months later down the road, I wouldn't understand, what I was doing. But if you have it laid down like this, it's much more clear. As you can see, I have the chords, the lead, even bass and percussion. I also have a voice memo of this, but in the end, I found that it is way easier with voice memos than using this app. So I only used it once, but maybe it is something that you could try and maybe it will work for you. But for now, let's just start by hearing what this idea of this ballad is about. And as you can see, you program this similarly to you would program MIDI, and it's got sort of like a mixer, and you can mute parts or pan them. If you want to focus on something, let's take a look here at the chord progression. So it's pretty useful, but as I was saying, I think I prefer to record just a simple voice memo. I would definitely only use this application if I see that the voice memo is not clear at all and I need to have a more clear reference of the idea that I have for a song, for a particular song. But you know what? This is it. This is the idea. And now the second thing that I did is, start to just write it down in this Pro Tools session. So I started with the drums, trying to program the drums as close as possible to the initial idea. And also I included, I would say, quite some detail in order to make it sound like it would be like the final thing, like the final deal, in order to, as I was saying, enhance the creative vibe of the session, and it will just help you. It helps you be more creative. And this is I set the tempo, and this is a 3/4 measure, beat measure, and then after that I laid down the guitar chords. It sounds like this. Now, one thing that I did here is I used the Epiphone, the Les Paul Epiphone modified that I have. And this is good, because I already know that I didn't like the sound of it. So, but since this is also a pre-production step, I know that when I get into the recording, I will try a different guitar, or I could even do it later on in the process and figure out which guitar sound is going to be better for what I tried to do here. Maybe I even won't. Maybe I may even decide not to use it. But I'm just laying the foundation, a scratch track. So for now, I'll just leave it here. Now, while I was hearing this progression, it occurred to me sort of like an arrangement in guitar again to add to the song, and it sounds like this. Now, something that I liked about the audio that I had recorded in Klimper is, that the way that progression sounds with the synth strings in the application. So there are some parts of the harmony and the interaction of the chords that I like, and the movement of some notes in the chords that I liked, and I wanted in a way to have them here. And I wanted to try something out with the pad, with the synth. And I used the simulation of the Juno. I also, because I want this EP to have sort of like a slight, 80s vibe, at least a little bit. I used a very, 80s sounding pad, trying to mimic those the movement of those chords in the Klimper application. This is how it sounds with the whole thing. It is very subtle, but it helps sort of like reinforce and fill out some gaps, fill out a little bit more the chorus. And for the vocals in the original voice memo, I had an idea for the vocals, which is exactly what I have here, and also the melody of the vocal, and it sounds like this. Dios, en amor. Okay, so then I was trying, listening what happens if I take out the guitar arrangement and so on. And because when I listen to this, since it is close to the final deal, to a final song in a way, it enhances my creativity, and I can start thinking about adding parts and so on. Now, something that I also did to the vocals here is that I started adding EQ and compression to start playing around with it and see how it sounds with the vocals and get it close to what I'm going to do when I'm mixing. And this time in this series I will be using, different plugins, because I am just using this EP that I'm producing to explore different stuff and not stick with the same things. So we will see that, but for now what I have here is, the chorus is now laid down. I can have it as a starting point to start writing the other sections of the song, and with the method that I have used in the previous series. So you can go ahead and click, if you like, on the link that's above here, and it will take you to the video in which I explain in a very detailed fashion how to come up with a chorus like this. Because right now I'm just laying it down, I'm documenting the process, but if you want to see the detail, go ahead and check out that video from the Making Rock Sound series. And we would be pretty much ready now. The next step for me is to start working on the other parts of the songwriting process, and I will show you, how it goes as we get these episodes out. No, that's it. We have the course pretty much ready and laid down. It's a good foundation, good starting point for what's coming in the next episodes. Okay, so we have just started a whole new song. We have finalized this first section of the songwriting process. Let me know in the comments below what you guys think about the process that I'm following. As always, I'm very interested in learning from your ideas, your comments, and your thoughts. So if you also were able to learn something or get something out of this video, please don't forget to hit that like button. That way you will be supporting this channel, and we will be able to continue generating content. Now, in the next video, we will continue with the songwriting process, so stay tuned to the channel, don't miss it out, and I will see you guys on the next episode. Bye.